for the origin of languages, present distribution of languages. North America. The first is the Inuit Aleut languages that basically span this entire blue area, kind of bluish. There's the Na-Dene, which is the brownish area. Algic is pretty obvious. It's the pinkish one in the area. And there's the gigantic Indo-Europe, pretty obvious where it is. Uxco-Axton, it's the kind of light greenish. There's the Zapotecans, which is right here, and the Mayan civilization's ancient languages descendants. And oh right, there's also some other language families here, but we won't mention them. Like the Siouans, they used to occupy a large area, but they don't anymore, probably because of expansion westwards. And yeah, and also there's like another bit of non-DNA too. South America. There's like descendant of the Inca civilization, well, Inca language, Quechua. There's the Aymara language. It's kind of like a tribe, not really like a collection of tribes and clans that speak their own different languages. And there's the Tupi languages, which are very, very important. And there's Indo-European. There's also a large number of other families. Eurasia. So most of this territory is inhabited by Indo-Europeans, but there's other language families, like the Afro-Asiatic, basically taking a large chunk of land here, and the Uralic family, which is this greenish thing here. There's Turkic here. There's Caucasian families, Mongolic, and there's Tibetan, Korean, Japanese, Austronesian, Dravidian. Yeah, there's all kinds here. And then, surprisingly, Africa does not have a lot of area, right? See, the first area, basically desert, same Afro-Asiatic, and then there's now Sahara, which is pretty limited. Niger-Congo is the gigantic family that expanded here, and it's kind of obvious to see. It's kind of about slopey here, right? And then there's the Khoisan, I didn't really mention that, and the Indo-European and Malagasy men. Well, they migrated there 200 AD, so that was still a long time ago. And then there's the Indo-European language family. There's the Pomeranian. They used to be like very common around here. Well, kind of pity they don't. Like they're not common. And then the other Aboriginal language families. I don't know why Pomeranian even made it this far north here. It's kind of weird because they're not supposed to. And then, yeah, there's Indo-European. There's some bits of Maori spoken. There isn't a lot of Maori left. There are the Papuan families. There's the green ones, like the main one, Trans-New Guinea, which is the largest one, and the greenish one, and then the purple ones are the other Papuan families. And there's the Austronesian, which is the largest one. Oh, right. And these black areas are uninhabited. These dots, they're not inhabited. How languages rose and how useful. Languages are essential to every creature has, because you need use language to cooperate. Because animals that hunt in groups just need their own languages. You can't just learn you have to learn it. If you don't learn it, then you can't just do that, because you're gonna have to make millions of code, and you're not actually going to do that, are you? No. So throat bone and gene called FOXP2 are very essential for languages, but they don't turn an animal that doesn't have languages into having languages. Because throat bone is the hyoid too, so connected. It's like around here, right? And there's this gene called FOXP2 that's found in every cell, so it's also found here and with the hyoid bone, right? Hyoid bones are connected to any other bone, right? And also, since it's not connected, it's just like howler monkeys use this bone right here. We have it, and they just turn into like a stack to use it to make very annoying sounds. Get it? No. So how many of our extinct relatives how they could speak? If they did speak, they could have been actually very smart and develop language. Well, it could help developed pictographs. It might have formed villages eventually, and villages need agriculture. They'll just observe. What's the most common vowel on Earth? Answer A, E, and I. Although A is very distinct, and also actually A, I, U are very distinct, and also not having U is pretty uncommon. Not having an A is impossible in human language. Well, natural human language. Because there are other languages like Klingon, which have no A's. They replace it with I don't know what that is, but it's found in many Native American languages. But actually, only if these humans or ancient humans got together, or large populations of ancient humans, they could do better than ancient humans. This is how they were. Note that I do not like the long hair of the Homo sapien. And this is not real. So we're only going to talk about Homo neanderthalensis and Homo sapiens. This is the big part that just allows us to speak. See, there's this thing. Adult Neanderthals, just like a 10-year-old sapiens. This is how I'm going to say this, right? So, yeah, nothing very interesting. So basically, this is what we look like. This is what they look like. And there's just proportions to get to this box, right? And then basically, if allowing us to kind of have a proportion of a 10-year-old child or something like that, would be kind of say having that proportion would basically allow you to speak human sounds. Well, some human sounds, but not all. See that if we actually made this malproportion here, it's purple, shorter, you can't speak. You can't speak human sounds. This is what babies and chimps do. They have a shortened mouth proportion, and they can't speak that way. So Homo sapiens and Homo neanderthalensis, what we do and what we don't have, and what they do have. So we basically do everything they do. We do develop many technologies to create a society of hunter-gatherers that basically hunt technologies. They have sewing, bows, arrows, man traps, jewelry, atlas. Well, not really an atlas, but it's an atlas. There's this kind of thing you throw a spear with. You've never heard it before, but kind of like this. There's this kind of piece of wood. It was kind of like golf club. However, you could hold a spear with it. You basically just release the energy in a kind of dangerous spear thing. You could build teepees or bone huts, hunting strategies. You could chase Irish elk. Always get stuck in the forest and just throw spears until they die. chase animals off the cliff. Well, this is the same thing as a woolly mammoth trap. I don't know why, but mammoths are just kind of stupid. And also, we did have all these technologies. We could just do whatever we want. We could just use a spear, one of it preys like a kind of wall at the edge of a tall cliff. It's not like at the edge, standing on the cliff. It's like at the bottom of the cliff. You just kill it, and then the thing, it will die. And then Homo neanderthalensis, it did have languages. They hunted together. They ate. They were able to learn things. They had storytelling. They made tools. They knew to coordinate. They made necklaces. They buried their dead. They might have had cultures, but I'm not sure if how they did bury their dead. They also had cultures. They even had they might have practiced shamanism. And then passing down knowledge, like making tools, learning species, which plants are poison, which animals are bad. They can't survive otherwise. This is the basic thing. If you don't know if you can't learn anything or pass knowledge down or other than genetic information, which is not good, you're probably going to die. So, there's a saying, which is a kind of haplogroup of sapiens, has to learn more than 100 kinds of animals or plants in order to even survive. Sapiens hunted animals in distance, right? Sapiens traded groups of 1,000 people. They lived close together, so they kind of formed a little society. Not really. We just wiped out other Homo species. Sapiens kind of wiped out almost all Neanderthals and some mated with them. Therefore, some of us have Neanderthal DNA. Trading is pretty useful in passing technology, knowledge, ideas, inventions. Well, basically, it's just allowed Homo sapiens to be the most dangerous thing. Neanderthals only live in groups of about 25 people, and they're pretty isolated. They hunted large game, attacked them close up. They never even learned concentrating, well, probably because they weren't able to. And they just died off every time. They just didn't know it. They just have their own little group and nothing really else except for Homo species, and they probably want to kill them. And this is an example of a megaman. This is the largest rhino on the earth, Paleotherium. It's the largest rhino on the earth, and it is the largest megamammal to live on the earth. See, woolly mammoth will be half the size. The largest woolly mammoth will be half the size of it, or the largest kind of woolly. How many of those other Homo species got extinct? Let's say on an island. I made this basically up because it's kind of funny. Before anything happened, which is a long time ago, right? There were these species that basically just hunted each other, and well, they were not cannibals. I'm not sure if they did, but they kind of ate each other. They eat other species, which is yucky, of course, I know, but you know why I even know all this? Why people even know this? Is because the herpes 2 virus. There's this virus that is infected from a kind of chimp, early chimp that came to a humans. You see, humans were eating chimps and were eating other humans. You see, before they just didn't really have any society at all, and they lived on the gigantic savanna. After this, there's this sapien to say, and then basically they kind of there's more of the very interesting things. Sapiens, this group of humans that circle people, right, the descendants of them, they formed a confederacy and basically just wiped out other groups. They wiped out other groups in their territory and they formed a confederacy and then they started trading and wiping out other groups north of them. And this basically this did, well, other people did other things the same way elsewhere. And you can basically see now is that the Sapiens kind of formed confederacy. Wait, it's not exactly confederacy. They were still like independently functioning states, but they would be able to trust each other, and they would just say if they were able to wipe out this little group of people here, well, just say kind of people here that basically are having just have spears and just throw them inaccurately and just don't care, they just die anyway for honor. They'll just get wiped out, and yeah, they'll probably also breed with one of the like tribes out in the western areas, and they just hunt the other groups down until basically they take over the entire island. If so, Europe during this time, they're kind of scattered around, more isolated. Yeah, I basically said that last time. And they never even learned the concept of trading. So yeah, I just made them individual states, and they're like networks where they can trade. Neanderthals died at 300,000 years ago. The Ice Age never ended, and we never invented sewing. Neanderthals might have survived better than this in the cold. Yeah, and we might have never wiped them out. Well, we might have just wiped them out in some regions only. Languages are useful, but it needs requirements for society to be advanced. 1 million years ago, sapiens were trading and banding together to make kind of little confederacies that maybe they're trading, banding together, and kind of making them seem more dangerous. This results in extinction of pure blood Neanderthals and most other Homo species. Languages are very central for humans. It helps us communicate. In trading, invent technology, pass on our knowledge. However, it's not the only criteria to prevent the extinction of the ancient humans. That's it.